Well, it's 9 o'clock, so I'd like to welcome everybody to the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission meeting. It is June 24, 2021. If everybody can stand for the pledge, please. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First off, we have a public hearing on Resolution 2021-002A, Industrial Center TIF Amendment. Brad?
Yes, this has been before you previously and introduced. This is the TIF expansion resolution. I have received no comments for or against this, so the public, unless someone's here today to speak, I have no comments.
Do we have anybody here today to speak for or against it? If not, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Brad, can you call the roll, please?
Yes. Angie Moyer?
Yes.
Gary Wiggerly?
Yes.
Bryce Conyers?
Yes.
Eugene Whitehead?
Yes.
James King?
Yes. We'll move to our regular meeting. Brad, can you go ahead and call the roll?
Yes, sir. Commissioner King?
Here.
Angie Moyer?
Here.
Gary Wiggerly?
Here.
Bryce Conyers?
Here.
Eugene Whitehead?
Here.
Paul Garrison?
Here.
Thank you.
Next, we need the approval of the minutes for 5/13 of 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we have table business, Resolution 2021-08, Greenway Study Contribution. I'd like to keep this table because I think this is a part of what they put into the Reedy grant to have this done. So I'd hate to put money out right now for that and then go through the grant process and be approved. Does anybody have any comments or anything concerning this?
I'm okay with it being tabled.
Do we need to
No.
just move on? All right. Next, we'll move to new business, Resolution 2021-11, Industrial Center TIF Expansion Conformatory Resolution. Joe?
So this resolution basically says that everything in the declaratory resolution that was adopted at the last meeting is good to go. The public hearing obviously just happened, nothing was even said, so it's just basically finishing the process.
Entertain a motion and a second on this.
So moved.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll move to Resolution 2021-12, Jail Demo and RFP Assistant Resolution. Joe?
This is exactly what the title says. The former Justice Center downtown Muncie needs to be demolished, and it's presumably going to be a little expensive. So this resolution would pledge some money to help with that whole demolition process.
I'd like to note that the dollar amount that was included with that, I did get a engineer's estimate quote from Schroyer Brothers locally, walked through the facility, basement, clear through the roof. I did inflate their number because prices have been going up on everything. I don't expect to spend this much money. This amount of money also includes $500,000 worth of dirt to put back into the hole in the event that we don't have a successful RFP respondent, an eventual end user for the site. So I do not expect that number to be near that, cross your fingers, but we're putting that in there for purposes of covering everything that we may need to do in a worst case scenario with the building.
Just entertain a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
We'll move to Resolution 2021-13, Corporation Resolution Park 1 TIF. Joe?
So this is a resolution that will allow this body to pay off, I think it's the Bravini bond and the Railspur bond. Does that sound right, Brad?
Correct, yes.
And it'll be paid off using and basically refinancing what the existing debt. And this resolution will appropriate the money from the new bond that will be issued to pay off the Bravini and Railsburg debt. It's just a formality in the process as well.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll move to Resolution 2021-14, appropriation resolution, Morrison TIF. Joe?
Same thing, this is, to pay off the Morrison bonds with some new bonds that are going to have a lower interest rate. Same deal, appropriating the money from the new bond to pay off the old bond.
Just a note to the commission, both of these resolutions will save the county in excess of $600,000 over the life of the bond. So this is a good thing.
I move to approve resolution 2021-14.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll move to Resolution 2021-15, TIF pledge Living Green Farms. Joe?
All right, so this one is the Living Green Farm project in the Fusion Shell Building. I think everyone here is familiar with that project, right? This resolution will pledge the actual TIF revenue that's generated from that project to pay bonds that are going to be issued to basically subsidize some of the project costs. So
And again, the company is fronting the money for the bond issuances. There's no county backup. There's no existing county taxpayer dollars being pledged for this one or the next resolution also.
Yeah, so basically all the property taxes that this Living Green Farm company pays in just goes right back through the redevelopment commission into their pockets basically as bond payments.
And it's not the full amount, though. It's a 75-25 split. So the county, it's revenue positive, so the county does get some funding.
And Brad, you've received all the paperwork you were looking for?
Thank you, Eugene. I did receive yesterday a letter right here from Living Green Farms detailing their financing strategy that they're working on, so.
And they actually sent a young lady here yesterday, well, Tuesday, wasn't it, for the
Yes.
council meeting?
Yeah, so they note on here, here's the critical sentence that they conclude with: we anticipate finalizing items on the above July 9th, 2021. So July 9th, they should have all of that ready and be able to close on the building. So that's good. I'll keep a continued eye on this.
Thank you.
I'll talk. If that date comes and goes, you all know right away.
Yeah, we would just rescind the resolution at that point if it looks like it's not going to work out.
Okay.
Yeah, but they did give that to me. They did give me what I asked them yesterday late.
Need a motion and a second.
I'll move to approve. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we'll move to Resolution 2021-16, TIF pledge and financing agreement, Cantac project.
So
Same thing?
the resolution is going to be pulled from this month's agenda because
Okay.
it's not ready yet. They're still working on some of the details. The agreement, though, is the Economic Development Agreement, which has already been approved by the council, the commissioners, and I think the Economic Development Commission approved it already as well. And that's just the main agreement that says they're going to invest so much money into the project, create so many new jobs, pay such a whatever wage, and in exchange, bonds will be issued to help fund that project as well. So you guys think this is the last body that needs to approve that agreement?
So they are at this time still finalizing their equipment investment. Phase 1 is an 862,000 square foot building. Phase 2 is a 196,000 square foot addition. As you know, with buildings that huge, the equipment is a lot and extensive, and so it's kind of a moving target. We're waiting on those finalized numbers so we can have those numbers in here. This is withdrawn this month. You'll see
Okay.
this again at the next meeting.
Well, then we'll just move on then to Merchant McIntyre agreement. Bill, can you just give a small brief?
Not a problem, Mr. President and Board. I think you guys have seen this is a new 2-year agreement with Merchant McIntyre. That's the Washington staff we use in conjunction with the city. This is, again, last year was just a one-year deal because the city just come on. This is a 2-year. I do have it signed by the mayor. We just hit the best grant for the 3rd time in a row for entrepreneurs and business skills tied with the Innovation Connector. The Resilience Grant, I just finished answering the last questions, which would be resilience recovery for the entire region, Delaware County included for each one of the ones in ECI. So I would ask that with that, I think this has been a worthwhile agreement for both us and them, and not only the grants, but they handle everything with our Washington staff when we visit there. Set everything up, which has been beneficial to both the city and the county. I'd ask for your approval today.
Brad, this will be separated out between all TIFs.
Yes, this has historically been paid for the various TIFs.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we'll move to the town hall solar request. Adam, would you like to give like something brief to the board what you're looking at doing?
Thank you. So the town of Delaware is making a request for assistance with a sustainability project that we're working on for the town. In this case, it would be for a solar project to power the new town hall. Looking at roughly a total of $70,000 request, which is $63,000 for the project, $7,000 in administrative fees. And that would provide that building with 33 kilowatts of solar power, which should allow for it to be self-sustaining.
What does the board like to do on that? Brad, you got something?
I was just going to say that the Daleville TIF district funding, we're watching that very closely. And so this would be, we actually have our own little, James and I have worked on our own little spreadsheet for that. And so this is an amount that would be included in there to be funded. And we're running tight in there, but there is sufficient funds to fund this.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm going to abstain from this one. Sports complex study proposal, Brad?
Yes. As many of you know, or have heard, or there's some talk in our community often that there are different groups who are interested in sports facilities being constructed, whether it's an expansion of volleyball programs in Yorktown, whether it's a basketball, kids camp or training facility, a baseball facility, football, soccer. I've even talked to some folks who wanted to build a hockey rink at one time. So we don't know in this county what can be sustained and what can't be sustained here. We don't know how many children or participants would be a part of those. The last thing we want to do is for this county to fund a project and it fail. And so we believe we need to have a study completed and know some real data on what actually needs to be built and what needs to be sustained. This agreement from CSL, which stands for Convention Sports and Leisure International, in cooperation with CHA Consulting, who has Katie, a representative here today, will conduct this feasibility study. They'll basically do a project orientation, economic demographic destination analysis, industry characteristics, and 7 other items on here. The total cost to complete this work is $49,500. It's a not to exceed amount with $5,000 allocated separately for report preparation, postage, telephone, travel costs, reproduction documents, etc. I would ask the board consider funding this. This would be taken out of all of the TIF districts collectively, because I've had sports complex looking at Daleville, looking at Park 1, looking at the Morrison Road TIF area, looking at all different areas. So I'm happy to answer questions regarding this, but this will give this board and the county data on what actually needs to happen.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll move on to the paving bid request.
Yes, thank you. So with the Morrison Road bond refunding, there's significant, not significant, but there is funding, additional funding available in the amount of about $1.3 million. My recommendation is to pave roads in that area, as I've discussed with some of you. I have a estimate quote from E&P Paving on what some of those roads in that area are that I've worked with Commissioner King and Angie on. This consists of Clare Lane in front of Lowe's and Stoops in that area, Marleon Drive, which is beside Best Buy, Lantern Park area, which we all are familiar with. Lantern Park neighborhood, important to do some residential, as I've talked with James and I have discussed. Morrison Road, which is from Keller Drive clear to Bethel, is 5 lanes. And then also Benton Road, which I believe the County Highway Department can handle. Benton Road, they were already in talks with the city to do that one. Those total almost 1.7 million. That's over our budgeted amount. But I would like to, with your approval, work with Angie and Joe to issue bids for these in anticipation of doing this work as soon as the Muncie City Council approves the bond for this project. I think this is the most important infrastructure need in that area right now that this board can help with.
What the commission like to do?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll move to the solar wind street lights at Cannon Commons and Park One. Brad?
Yeah, this has been a problem for a while now that the county has just largely, we don't know exactly what to do with it. The solar wind street lights are a testament to a failed economic development project from previous administrations and previous economic development days. They're not working. They haven't been working. They haven't been serviced in a long time. I've looked at them, and it's my opinion that they need to come down and be removed, both in Park One and in Cannon Commons, downtown Muncie. Since I put this on the agenda, I did receive a phone call from Mr. Rick Ziegler. I think many of you might probably know Rick. He's active with the Three Rivers music series that they hold downtown. He's asked me in an email if the County Redevelopment Commission okays his group to remove the lights in Cannon Commons because they detract from the area because they're not working. And I said, yes, if you guys want to remove those, remove them. I don't know if they will get to it, but I'd like to ask for your approval today to work with a contractor to remove them for scrap value. And if those in Cannon Commons are not removed by that time, for the contractor to include removing those and Park One at the same time. Let's get rid of them, in my opinion.
Do you have a cost?
I do not. My first thing was going to be to contact some local demolition companies and see if they would just remove them for the value of the lights, of the scrap.
And if not, you can bring back.
And then if not, if they want to give a bid to do it, I'll try to secure 3 of those and bring them back before you. But my thought was just to get rid of them.
So which tip would pay for the Cannon Commons?
I'm going to try to get rid of them just for
equal?
for nothing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But if originally the Morrison Road TIF paid for the lights,
I see.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That was
So
the initial, that's where
that
the
was
funds came
initial-
from
that's the
initially?
initial funding. Those ones in Cannon Commons were lights that this commission gave to, at the time, Mayor Sharon McShirley to place, and she placed them in Cannon Commons at the time.
I'll move to approve.
Thank you.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, appraisal properties for 3311 West Cornbread Road. Brad?
Yes, I have 2 appraisal proposals that were both forwarded to you from RPM Asset Valuation and Access Valuation, both of Indianapolis, Indiana. Both of them have a price of $2,500 to complete this work. Once those are completed, I would bring those back before you. Then this board could take the average of the 2 appraisals and make a formal offer to the property owner for that property. This property is adjacent to existing county-owned property that could be developed in that area north of the new jail. I'm anticipating the appraisal values in the $70,000 to $100,000 range. Don't know exactly where that'll land, but Bryce is rolling his eyes.
Let the commission
That's when
know.
they get it done.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
We do have a willing seller at that location too, pending the acceptance of that average value of those appraisals.
Next, we'll move to Mundell and Associates time and material proposal for environmental oversight, right?
Yes, as you're aware, Mundell and Associates has done a good job doing the review of all of the industrial projects we've had as of late. We've had a lot, and Mundell is proposing a time and materials proposal rather than just an individual proposal for each of the projects. This is their same standard rates, but this is a blanket proposal so that any project that we have come in, I, on behalf of the county commissioners, can engage Mundell to do an environmental oversight to make sure we're not bringing somebody in that is bringing a human health hazard to our community. So I'd ask for your approval on this.
So.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we'll move to Baker Tilly engagement letter for Canpack and Living Green Farms.
Yes, Baker Tilly's already been largely engaged on both of these. As you can see with the resolutions, we're actively working on numbers now, but they want to get shored up that they'll get paid to do that work that they're engaged in now. So this is their standard engagement letters that you've approved in the past.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second.
Sorry.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we'll move to invoices. Does anybody on the commission have any questions over the invoices? If not, I'll entertain a motion to pay all invoices.
So moved.
Second.
You got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we'll move to our bond payments for Nebo and Bell. Does anybody on the commission have any comments, concerns over the bond payments?
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we'll move to public comments and discussions. I would like to say, I believe, Mr. Garrison, is this going to be your last meeting with us?
I'm, got 2 more days as superintendent, I guess 3.
Okay.
So I will be retiring effective June 30th, next Wednesday.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Second time around.
Second time around. I know you have done a great job with our students out at Delville, and everybody's really appreciate you. The work that you've helped us do here, we appreciate all of that. I believe he's attended almost every meeting that we've had here. Even though he's not a voting member, he's always been here with us.
Well, thank you.
And you're going to be sadly missed, but keep in touch.
We'd like you to attend a future meeting.
Yeah.
I will be, in touch. I'm not sure. I'll have a little consulting role, I think, with the school district going forward, so you're liable to see my face.
And it's always, you're always welcome to come in here, and like Brad said, we'd like for you to still continue to come into some of our future meetings.
Thank you. It's been a, I resided in Muncie for 9 years, and of course I've been in Delaware 46. I am interested in Delaware County and everything here.
Well, you've been an asset sitting in here, Mr. Garrison. We all truly appreciate you.
Thank you.
Brad, do you have anything else?
Only other thing was, this board traditionally has skipped our July meetings, so with your approval today, we could postpone the July meeting to August 12th, since we are doing this June meeting late in the year. I have a lot of those invoices that would traditionally need to be paid on this agenda for payments. We're good to go to August 12th, unless you just really want to come in July.
I'm gonna be on vacation.
There's a lot of voids on that calendar.
Sounds good to me.
I'll move a motion for that.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I do have one thing. Jacob?
Just in time.
Yeah.
Welcome to-
Well, I was gonna ask Brad until you walked in. The property where you guys like put your equipment next to where the gas company and stuff used to be, do you guys own that now?
Yeah, I own that.
Do you know what are interested in doing with that after you guys are done with that project?
Oh, well, I may put it up for sale. There've been talks around that idea, but I haven't,
Yeah.
just, I actually had a, guy come talk to my employees to see if it was for sale, because he wanted to put a CNG gas filling station there. He calls, FedEx and who's across the street? UPS are talking about switching everything over to compressed natural gas. And that was the last I can remember, and the guy hasn't been back around since. So, I mean, as of right now, I'm just gonna mow it, seed it and mow it.
Well, I don't know about everybody, but with the trail work and everything that we're doing out there, I thought either a park or some kind of trailhead. If
Yeah, that'd be,
you'd be interested in something like that, talking to Brad and,
yeah, you guys, if you guys wanna come up with something, we'll call me about it.
I don't know how the other ones on the commission would think about it, but it's a nice sized piece of property
Yeah, it's like
back
4.8
there.
acres. I tore the house down and I cleaned it up and, yeah, I mean, it's.
Well, one of the things too is the young man that died out there, with the skateboard and everything.
Yeah.
Could be a skateboard park for the kids out there in that area. Because I know you've got that little ditch and everything dug back
Yeah.
there. There's a little bit of cement and stuff in there,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
It could be
You could name it
something.
after it.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be a
honestly,
cool
the
thing.
commission
Yeah.
could
That'd be
build
really
something like
sweet.
that.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
It was just a thought.
Okay, yeah, no, if you guys wanna, I just think about that and look at it, go to look at it, you guys are more than welcome to go out there anytime and walk on it. That's my permission, you guys can go on the site anytime you want, the property, so there you go.
Well, I
Check it
know,
out.
Todd Schwackenmeyer,
Swackhammer,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
He's been working on skate
maybe
parks. He's
reach
got a
out
good
to him and
drawing.
talk
Yeah.
to him and see what we can do, and that would be a good suggestion to name it after that young man.
A good idea.
Yeah. Does anybody have anything else?
I'd like to say something. From the other side of the table here, I'd like to say thank you to the commission and Brad and everybody that's put in the work to do the refinancing, because that saved taxpayers money and that
Sure
saves
is.
all of us money. So I really want to thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to recess.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? In recess.